When you're interviewing coaches about tough games or questionable play calls, how can you tactfully ask the questions that your listeners are expecting?
Well, that's probably one of the hardest things about interviewing is asking the question because you are paid by the team for the most part. I mean, my check comes from Learfield, but they have a business relationship for the university. So you're not a reporter when you're doing games. You're basically a presenter. You're presenting the games. So there is a fine line between asking the questions that the listeners want to know versus what the team and the coaching staff wants to talk about. My style is usually you come out with a couple of questions to talk about some of the positive things in the game, get the coach or the player warmed up, and then if you want to ask something, you've got to be very polite, you got to be firm, but you've got to ask the question. But I think if you start with a question in the post-game show, if you're going to do, say, an 8-minute interview, you don't want to start right away with a question that might talk about maybe why they went for something on fourth down or why they threw the ball into the post as opposed to taking a three-point shot that they needed to tie the game. I think that you got to ease them into it. I think tone of voice. I think your facial expressions when you're looking at somebody, if you're asking a tough question, more that you're just asking the question. You're not trying to be mad. You're not trying to put them on the spot. But there are decisions to be made, like why you went for the field goal or why you didn't punt the ball. I think it's a lot of it is how you phrase it and the demeanor of how it comes off.